My name is Jackie Bellata, and this is part of EDUG 644 Teacher Leadership for Equity in Schools and Community with Dr. Kevin Thomas at Bellarmine University. So the issue I want to talk about is that African American male students are overrepresented in special education programs, and this is occurring both at the national level and in our local school system, Jefferson County Public Schools. This is in comparison to students of other races and to their female counterparts. The trend can be noted across schools. So looking at schools from our East End and our West End, we can also look at neighborhood schools, schools with traditional programs or magnet programs, and see this overrepresentation. As a special education teacher, my current caseload is 82% male, and of those male students, 55% are African American. When you compare this to the overall demographics of my elementary school, there are 50% male students, and of those male students, only 23% are African American. So you can see that there is a very big difference in the amount of African American male students that are represented in our special education programs. When we look at the research, there were three main common causes for the overrepresentation of African American males. The first is a lack of understanding and a lack of awareness of cultural differences. And this is on the part of teachers, administrators, and school psychologists. Additionally, these individual biases are leading to subjectivity in the referral process. So the majority of students are referred by a teacher, and when teachers are looking at the qualifications necessary for a referral, often their own biases can lead them to refer students based on differences in ways of learning or differences in social norms from a different culture, rather than true measures of disability. Finally, there are testing biases in the assessment tools that we use, and this is very true for Jefferson County Public Schools. IQ measures are seen as very culturally narrow in their focus, and for students who are African American or students from other diverse cultures, they can put them at an automatic disadvantage. In JCPS, we use IQ tests for identifying students with specific learning disabilities, since primarily we look at the discrepancy model. We also use them to identify students for cognitive disabilities, such as mild mental disability or functional mental disability. The biggest takeaway from this research is, why is this overrepresentation of African American students in special ed a problem? There are many negative long-term effects from overrepresentation. Overrepresentation can fuel negative stereotypes regarding minority groups. It can result in lowered expectations from teachers, from parents, and even from the students themselves. It can lead to increased chances of dropout and incarceration when we talk about the school to prison pipeline. And additionally, being in lower level classes instead of a more advanced track can limit career opportunities in the future. So what can teachers and administrators do to alleviate this? The first is providing high quality and rigorous instruction for all students, and we can do this by engaging in culturally responsive pedagogy. Additionally, there's a need to provide training for teachers and for pre-service teachers on recognizing internal biases and recognizing stereotypes. We can also implement preventive services. This can include counseling and tools to help empower our young African American men. We can also look at more culturally appropriate reinforcement when we're talking about behavior strategies. We can monitor referrals for potential bias. And as ARC admission and release committees, we can ensure that when we are planning an evaluation, that it is tailored to the student's individual needs and not a series of checkboxes based on a disability where everyone gets the same evaluation. Thank you so much.